Hi there. All right, here's book 12. This is a little golden book. This is Disney's The Fox and the Hound, Hide and Seek. Okay? I love these cute little books. Todd was a lively young fox who lived on a farm. His friend Copper was a long-eared, big-footed hound pup who lived down the road. Todd and Copper did everything together. They swam in the pond. They chased chickens out of the barn. They helped Boomer the woodpecker and Dinky the sparrow hunt for caterpillars. Sometimes they just sat under the oak tree and talked with Big Mama the owl. Every day as Todd watched Copper go home, he felt a sad, empty feeling inside. "Honey," said Big Mama, "that empty feeling is called being lonely." One afternoon when Copper came to play, Todd was tired of chasing chickens and looking for caterpillars and staying around the farm. "Let's go exploring in the forest," he said eagerly. "That sounds like fun," Copper said. "I'll race you across the meadow." "You two ought to wait till tomorrow morning," Big Mama called after them. "It gets dark fast in the forest, and you might get lost." "Don't worry," Todd said. "We'll be careful." And off they ran. It was cool and dim in the forest. The trees were close together, and their leafy branches shut out the sky. The only sounds were the chirping of the birds and the rustling of small animals in the underbrush. "What a good place for hide and seek!" cried Todd. "Want to play, Copper? I'll hide and you look for me." "Okay," said Copper. "I'll find you too." Copper covered his eyes and started counting while Todd looked for a place to hide. "If I stay close by, he's sure to find me," Todd thought. So he ran past trees and mossy rocks and swam across a little stream. Then he ran some more. Finally, he stopped at a hollow tree stump. "This is a perfect place," he thought. "Copper will never find me here." He crawled into the stump and curled up. It was cozy and warm, and Todd was tired from all the running he'd done. Before he knew it, he was fast asleep. Meanwhile, Copper had finished counting and was looking for Todd. He put his nose to the ground, as hound dogs do, and sniffed for Todd's scent. He sniffed at a clump of tall grass. There was a beating of wings, and a quail flew out. He sniffed at some dry leaves under a big beech tree. Two squirrels jumped out and ran up the tree. He sniffed around a fallen log, and a prickly porcupine rattled his quills at him. At last Copper picked up Todd's scent. He followed it to the stream, and he swam across. But when we got to the other side and started sniffing again, there was no trace of Todd. Copper began to get worried. "What if it gets dark before I find Todd?" he thought. It was dark when Todd woke up. "Copper didn't find me," he thought as he climbed out of the stump. "Maybe he went home without me. I'll never be able to find my way home by myself." Todd was frightened. Suddenly he heard something move behind him. He turned around. Two eyes gleamed in the darkness. "It must be a bear," Todd thought, trembling. Oh, I wish Copper were here. He was so scared that he began to cry. Todd, is that you? A shaky little voice asked. Copper, Todd exclaimed. You found me. I thought you were a bear. I'm so glad I found you, Copper said. I was frightened all by myself in the dark. So was I, said Todd. I thought you had gone home and left me here alone. I wouldn't do that, said Copper. We're friends. Friends stick together and help each other out. Todd and Copper huddled close to one another to keep warm. It's not so scary in the forest when you have a friend to keep you company, Todd said. Everything's easier when you have a friend, said Copper. Tomorrow morning we'll help each other find the way home. No need to wait that long, said a voice above them. It was Big Mama. I had a feeling you two might need some help, she said. When you weren't back by sundown, I figured I'd better come looking for you. We're glad you did, Big Mama, Copper said. Thank you. Well, honey, you're my friends, said Big Mama. Friends take care of each other. Now you just follow me and I'll have you home in no time. When they were out of the forest and across the meadow, Todd and Copper stopped to say goodbye. Copper, will we always be friends? Todd asked. Forever and ever, said Copper. Maybe even longer than that. The little hound started down the road to his home. This time Todd didn't feel a bit lonely as he watched Copper go. He knew that no matter how often Copper left, he'd always come back. After all, he was a friend, and that's what friends do. I hope you enjoyed this little book of the Fox and the Hound. Play hide and seek. I'll see you next time.